watching out. For you, this is NewsWatch 12 at 4.
A little more than a week after the Copperfield fire started burning thousands of acres in Klamath County, numerous lives have been changed. Thank you for joining us for NewsWatch 12 at 4. I'm Tim Quidadamo.
And I'm Haley Gravitt. We want to share your stories, and that is what NewsWatch 12's Rocky Walker did today, showing you the sheer devastation the Copperfield fire has brought to the lives of the owners of the 8 homes that were destroyed. Take a look.
Within a matter of hours of the Copperfield fire starting, it grew to hundreds of acres, eventually reaching thousands, destroying multiple homes, leaving nothing but rubble in its wake. Located near the fire's epicenter, Dave Cheney showed me his home. He was on his way back home when the fire started, with its intense nature showing him his worst fear had come true.
You know, I was able to come up a ways and hear the explosions and see the rolling smoke from those. So I knew my place was destroyed.
He prepared for fire season, so he hoped for the best. But when returning home, he was blown away at what was left.
I had no clue that I'd see this kind of destruction.
With all of his documents, memories, and possessions burned in the fire.
I've been able to salvage nothing.
He mainly mourns the loss of the legacy he'd planned to leave his family.
This was for them to where they could come and visit or stay here anytime and know that everything here Grandma and Grandpa touched and built from the ground up. And they're not going to have that now.
Now he isn't sure what's next for him and his wife, but he has no choice but to move forward.
You know, had a beautiful home and everything was just happy. But got to move on, I guess.
Near Chiloquin, Rocky Walker, NewsWatch 12.
And the Copperfield fire in Klamath County is at 86% contained today. More than 3,800 acres has been burned in the 9 days that it has been active.
Fire officials say 22 structures in total were destroyed by the blaze, including 8 homes. The Copperfield fire has an estimated cost of nearly $9 million. And other fires burning in our region. The Devil's Knob fire is more than 4,000 acres today, with the Milepost 98 fire at 240 acres. Both of those fires are uncontained at this time, but aerial resources are assisting in preventing forward progress.
There are level 3 evacuations in place for both of these fires, with all of them in Douglas County. A public meeting will be held tomorrow night at 7 p.m. at the South Umpqua Community Church.
And the Bowman Well fire in Lake County is also 0% contained. The fire was mapped at 2,727 acres and is burning on Bureau of Land Management lands northwest of Christmas Valley.
The sheriff's office has reduced an evacuation order. There are now no level 3 evacuations for this fire. The fire was first reported this last Friday at 7:50 p.m.
Also in Lake County, the Flat Top fire is burning at an estimated 14,400 acres with some evacuation orders in place. The fire is burning north of Fort Rock on the Deschutes National Forest.
And firefighters have conducted structure protection work around the Cabin Lake Guard Station. The fire is primarily burning brush and timber. And in Southern Oregon, Medford's air tanker base is pivotal in fighting wildfires.
Absolutely. Today, the U.S. Forest Service says the tanker base set a new all-time record for gallons this week. This year, 330 loads of retardant have been delivered to 66 different large fires across the region. That's a total of more than 1,670,000 gallons dropped on fires this fire season. The Medford tanker base had aircraft dispatched to fires in Oregon, California, Washington, Idaho, Utah, and Wyoming this year.
Now let's check in with Stormwatch 12 Chief Meteorologist Matt Hoffman for a first look at our conditions for us outside right now. Matt.
Kind of our last day of very summer-like temperatures. We have a big change on the way for tomorrow. Let's take a look outside right now. Oh, I know, right? Let's take a look outside right now. We are seeing definitely a lot of sunshine overall. Clouds starting to roll in, though, along the coast. And we're also going to be keeping an eye on the return of some wet weather as well. Showers will start to make it to the coast as we head through the the overnight hours tonight. Let's take a look at air quality. We did have some reduced air quality earlier today in the Rogue Valley, but that has been improving. We're looking pretty good from Medford down through Ashland, Wairika, as well as Klamath Falls. Some moderate air quality up towards Crater Lake and Silver Lake. Current temperatures 89 right now in Medford, 91 in Montague. It's 83 in Klamath Falls. Not as hot as yesterday as expected, but temperatures are still running above average for this time of the year. But here's the storm system. Big changes on the way forward tomorrow. Increased clouds, winds will pick up, and we will see some considerably cooler temperatures for your Wednesday. Temperatures running well below average, a good about 10 to 20 degrees cooler than normal. We will see scattered showers throughout the day. Also the potential of some thunderstorms as well. We'll time out the wet weather for your Wednesday and take a look at your forecast through the rest of the week coming up in just a bit. Haley and Tim.
Matt, thank you. An update for those of you who live in Shady Cove. The Oregon Health Authority has lifted the boil water advisory.
The Highland Water Corporation public water system was previously under a boil notice after an intake pump failed and left residents with little to no clean drinking water. A temporary pump was installed while the permanent pump is repaired.
Water quality testing has confirmed the water meets the health authority's drinking water standards and is now safe for consumption. And onto a traffic alert, some changes might be coming to Ashland's roadways.
The city is getting $280,000 in federal funding to make a plan to reduce accidents and create safer streets for everyone using them. NewsWatch 12's Leave Column joins us live in Ashland after talking to community members today. Leave, what changes do these residents want to see when it comes to getting around town?
Well, Tim, Haley, community members telling me they like how walkable and bikeable the city is. They've also noticed an increase in traffic over the past few years. They say changes like making improvements to crosswalks could help walkers, bikers, and drivers all get on the same page. Take a look.
Ashland's funding is going towards a comprehensive road and street safety plan. The plan would use data to identify spots in the city with a high potential for traffic issues. It's also based on input from community members about the changes they'd like to see when getting around town. The Ashlanders I talked to say the city is usually pretty safe to navigate on foot.
Most people are very aware of pedestrians, and if they aren't, it only takes one time before they become aware and start watching out more.
Ashland's Transportation Advisory Committee is aiming for a less car-dependent community. Bike boxes are already set to come to the intersection of North Mountain Avenue and East Main Street. These green boxes give bikers a place to stop ahead of traffic. The $280,000 safety grant is part of a $3 million federal effort to reduce or eliminate traffic accidents in some Oregon cities.
City staff and community members telling me that distracted driving and walking is more common now. Coming up on our special edition tonight after the presidential debate, find out how this plan is setting out to keep community members alert when they're on the go. Live in Ashland, Leave Column, NewsWatch 12.
Thank you, Leave. We're also continuing coverage about tree work happening in Talent. The city hired the company Canopy LLC to trim and remove some trees around town. NewsWatch 12's Damian Alvarado has more.
I'm here on South Pacific Highway right next to the Shell, and it's trees like this that the city is going to be trimming here on South Pacific Highway. One reason because the branches are overgrown, so they're citing safety concerns. But one of the major things is when trucks drive by, especially the bigger and larger ones, they're breaking branches off like these. But that's not the only thing that the city is working on. Let's take a look at this tree, for example, in the South Market neighborhood that's been there for about 20 years. It was planted with the homeowner's permission, but now it's so big it's overshadowing the house. The city says the homeowner wanted it trimmed back or even removed, and there is also a leaning bald cypress on Talent Avenue, which is starting to come down. The city did have an arborist check it out and said it's not in great shape and leaning dangerously over the street. And many residents told the city it's a safety concern. Other trees are being removed throughout the city, but you don't have to worry because they are all being replaced. You can expect the city to plant around 200 new ones this fall. All of that coming from a grant, including some at the Talent Mobile Estates along Highway 99, where some of those trees were lost in the Alameda fire. In Talent, Damon Alvarado, NewsWatch 12.
And the Boys and Girls Club of the Rogue Valley announced a new partnership with ScienceWorks Hands-On Museum for an after-school program in Ashland. The collaboration introduces a free after-school program called Teen Takeover for 6th through 8th graders.
Hosted at the ScienceWorks Museum, the Teen Club offers engaging and fun activities designed to support critical growth. The program officially launched yesterday and will run every Monday and Tuesday from 2:30 to 5:30 p.m. In honor of National Preparedness Month, the Oregon Department of Human Services announced a new contract that will provide advanced evacuation software to Oregon.
The contract is with Genesis Incorporated, formerly known as Zone Haven, and will help manage emergency evacuations more effectively across the state. The Genesis EVAC software allows emergency services to create and update evacuation plan and respond to emergencies faster.
Testing in Deschutes and Jackson counties after the severe fires in 2020 led to the statewide use of the software.
Looking at our crime watch this evening, today the Josephine Marijuana Enforcement Team executed a search warrant that resulted in finding 11 individuals who are believed to be victims of human trafficking, along with illegal marijuana. The search warrant was for an illegal marijuana grow site.
More than 1,000 pounds of processed marijuana, along with more than 6,000 marijuana plants, were seized and destroyed. The property had multiple electrical, water, and solid waste violations. The primary suspect was not at the location during the search, but faces charges of unlawful manufacturing and possession of marijuana, as well as unlawful appropriation of water. The investigation is ongoing. Onto a money alert. The Fairview Trust has distributed more than $5 million in grants across Oregon. The funding is to support housing and advocacy for those living with intellectual and developmental disabilities, or IDD. Of the 11 organizations, Living Opportunities in Medford is receiving $147,500. These funds are to help develop 5 to 10 housing units to promote independent living for those with IDD.